Hello everyone. Within this video, I will be testifying to my schizo stories or my paranormal experiences, whatever you want to call them. I already did this last night, worth 2 hours close to, and I'm going to do it all over again because while I was editing, it fucked up. Also, while I was recording, I was too quiet because he was sleeping. He's still sleeping right now, but he's very tired, so I know he's not going to wake up and get mad at me for talking. So I want to begin with an experience my mother had, even though it doesn't have anything to do with me. I thought it did because she wasn't sure then if I was born or not, if she was pregnant with me or not, if I was even around, what happened. But since I asked her slowly, she was able to answer me, recollect her memories, and tell me that she was not pregnant with me. Actually, I was born years afterwards. The about a dozen of orbs that she saw hovering over the dining room table in a weird, chaotic way. She prayed for a man that was shot in front of her building at the time, and she feels like the orbs were most likely souls, spirits, maybe angels. Something she felt was not malevolent, so she left it alone. She ignored it, and she went on. She just saw it for a little while, captivated her, and she walked away from it because they weren't hurting anybody. Anyway, back then I thought it could have been possibly she maybe was abducted by aliens or something, but now I know better. She was praying, and there was a time when she went through something similar. Me and my family and I have had our own experiences totally separate from one another. My family had mostly experienced seeing spirits, things like that, spiritual beings, where I have been dealt with UFOs, aliens, light beings, shadow beings, demons, possibly Lucifer. I want to tell you guys about everything that I have experienced in one entire video, all over again. So, I'm going to begin with in 1999 on an October night. I forgot the day. Maybe it was somewhere around the middle of October. I'm not sure, but it was 1999. I was 12 years old. My youngest brother at the time, because my now brother that's 13 years apart from me wasn't born yet, which he would be my third brother. So my youngest brother at the time, his name is Louis. He was the first one to see the UFO outside of the last window of the apartment, 12G. I can't tell you guys the building. He yelled at all of us to come to the window and stare at what he was staring at. And what he was staring at was a neon blue flying saucer. I recreated it in clay creations. I believe it was the second to last creation. I'm not sure, but I did create it. It was neon blue. What was interesting about it was, and I forgot to mention this was in the video, so the silver belt itself was spinning the opposite of the ship, and it was like slowly spinning, and it was headed for a bridge and a body of water. We were in New York City, in Manhattan, when that happened, and basically that's where we spent our whole lives, me and my mom and my two brothers, and then my third brother came in 2000. He was born in 2000, so he wasn't born until the next year. I remember going around, looking around on the ground to get a loose leaf, and this was after the entire family, my mom, my sister, me, my two brothers, one was 7, one was 6. My sister's 5 years older than me, and we were all looking out the window. My mom, my sister walked out backwards out the room. 10 to 15 minutes later, my mom came back in the room to tell us. I didn't want to tell you guys because it's confidential. I don't know if she said the word confidential, but she'd say that she wasn't supposed to tell us basically, but since we're seeing for ourselves, yes, aliens exist. She knows she was told by her brother who worked in the Air Force or something, um, that he knows for a fact that they exist. I don't know. And since we're seeing it for our own eyes, there's she can't hold it hold the truth from us. Ever since then, I was drawn to anything aliens. So I quickly found a website called About Top Secret, where we talk about that stuff and whatever. And another experience when I was around 16 or 17 was a ball of light that came through a window. Um, I'm not sure if there was a screen on it. I'm not sure if the window was open or closed. I think it was open, and I'm not sure if there was a screen. But while I was boiling water, it wasn't boiling yet. It was like not even simmering yet, and I was watching it to prove a watch pot never boils. False to be false. And while I was watching it, I guess I was like hypnotizing myself by accident, and I guess it must have been the time that I was smoking serious because I remember looking at the windowsill, and I saw a ball of light, and I remember that I had to make a 360 because had to like was facing like the stove was here, and I'm looking this way, and I was like the ball of light was like that, so I had to like look at it while it made like a smooth U-turn, perfectly diagonal I mean, perfectly parallel from the ground, horizontal, just going straight, and then curving into living room where everybody was awake. I was awake. My brothers were probably playing video games in the room. People were awake in the apartment, and I was the only one that saw it. It must have been the size of a golf ball or something, but looked like its illumination what was like the size of a baseball, basically. If you understand that. So the illumination made it look slightly bigger, perhaps, I think, and I felt safe. I felt like butterfly or just watching something very precious, and I didn't follow it. That's crazy shit. I didn't follow it. I just stared back into the pot of water as if nothing happened at all. Um, Later on that night, I saw my mom about it, and she told me maybe it was a spirit or it was a ghost or a Holy Spirit or an angel. There are some people on both top secret that told me it could have been an abduction. I could have been abducted by aliens. There are people that said it could have been a ball of lightning. But if there was a screen on the window, it would have attracted to the screen. Like, it would have smacked all over the screen because it's metal. Or, I mean, if there was none, I mean, if there was no screen, maybe it could have been. I don't know. I'm not gonna throw out any possibilities yet because I have no idea myself. So I was experienced when I was about 16 or 17. Years later, when I was about maybe 22 or 23 or something, I was with this dude, and we were around like these people, this girl. She was like trying to entice him by hitting on this other girl that was whatever. Long story, stupid story, and it was just drama between us because at the time I was still growing my trust for him. So he was sitting in Coney Island inside of the train station, and he was asleep. He was drunk as fuck, and he was asleep. And I was looking at him through the gate, and I was like, just staring at him, like with my eyes wide, like, wake up, wake up. I couldn't go through a train because we were dead fucking broke as fuck. And, just the times, you know. So, let's see, basically, there was this weird dude that was like bummy, sort of raggedy ass clothes, and like a weird dirty cap, and he looked Jewish or something. Like when he got close to me, I saw that he looked like Jewish because his nose. Um, and he looked older, maybe like 50s or some shit. I don't know, 40s, 50s. I don't know. He had grayish hair, kind of short, and he he was looking at me from a distance, and I noticed him looking from a distance, but I was trying to ignore him, and I was trying to like wake up this dude with my energy. I don't know what I was doing. I was fucking crazy. When he came up to me, I noticed his pupils were very strange. I kept on looking at his eyes because his pupils were, if you think of a sun, like a cartoon sun rays, the fake sun rays that are like pointy like that. That was basically half, the bottom half of his pupils. That's what was happening to his pupils. The tips of the, I guess, pointed sun rays, black sun rays that were coming out from his pupils. His pupil itself was acting like a weird sun. Um, just half of it. The tip of it, the tip of the sun rays were basically touching the perimeter of his irises. That was the craziest shit. Just half, the bottom half of his fucking eyes. I remember the color of his eyes. His irises. They could have been dark brown, dark gray, dark green. I don't really know. I forgot. They could have been hazel. I don't give a shit. What I remember is the detail of his pupil, and they didn't look right. A cat just jumped on him. That's awesome. So, the cat just woke him up. He's awake. He's in the bathroom now. Anyway, um, so this dude finally walked up to me, like after, like, what, 5 or 10 minutes of him staring at me from, like, feet away from me. He walked up to me and he asked me a very interesting question after saying a bunch of stuff that I basically forgot what he said besides this one question. Are you wasting his time? And I looked at him like, what? I was thinking he was wasting my time because he was drunk there sitting and fucking just like, what am I doing here? Like, why am I just, you know, that got me. I was like, what? Am I wasting his time? What the fuck's going on? So then finally he wakes up. I don't know how. He lets me in. And when we're walking up the stairs, I remember looking down back at the guy, and he was looking at me. And I swear, I felt a feeling, not air, and not a physical feeling, but I was pushed. My energy was pushed when we caught eye contact. A few seconds after we caught eye contact, and I remember laughing and saying, "Fucking reptilians." And my dude, he said, "What?" And I was like, "Oh, nothing. Let's go home." And probably I forgot when I told him about it, but I know that I had to tell him about it probably when we were on the train, going back, and I was safely away from the fucking reptilian that just choked me with weird fucking pupils. Now going on to year 2012. 2012, around February or March, I believe it was March, possibly, the ending of March or something, I saw a digital alien shadow on my mom's kitchen floor. It was digital, as in, let's think looking through a digital camera. It was laggy, and it followed a telepathic voice. Basically, the whole experience that day was very strange. I was watching a video called Touched an Alien Abduction Phenomenon. Look it up. John Edward Mack. He's in there. Um, he's a person that he was a psychologist. I believe that he was murdered. Um, it was changing on me. The video was changing on me. It basically, okay, it wasn't changing on me, but it changed on me once. I felt like I heard her say blue light and not pink, orange light, like peachy light. But I was playing that video over and over again, like, what the fuck, how did that change? So Karen changed her story, and then the doorbell, someone knocked on, not the doorbell, sorry. Then someone knocked on the door, and it called me. I don't remember the knock. It could have been like my sister's knock. It could have been like 3 weird knocks. I literally don't remember the knock. I remember that it called me. I went to the peephole. When I looked through the peephole, I saw my half-brother's half-brother. As in, they have different moms, basically. And me and my direct half-brothers have this different dads, the same mom. So it's kind of like he's my stepbrother, but my stepfather is a pedophile, and I want nothing to do with him. even though he still resides with my mom. That's why I'm not there, because I don't want him around anymore. So my stepbrother, he's already kind of strange. He also has like maybe schizophrenia or something. He's also kind of an oddball. When I looked through the peephole, it was him, and he was. I saw him double vision. Basically, he was himself, like solid, but there was a transparent him and a transparent him, and he himself was wearing some type of Rasta, like big kind of cap, and he doesn't have enough hair to hold a cap like that. So what the hell was he holding underneath that? So I was like, shit, I'm watching an alien documentary. Is a fucking alien pretending to be my stepbrother? So he came in, and then we were just basically talking with my mom in the kitchen. Then my dude came in to the kitchen from my room, and we were just basically hanging out in the kitchen. After that, we walked to like through Central Park. I felt like I was going through some type of weird spiritual experience, and it's very stupid, very bizarre, but I literally felt like my stepbrother was an alien, and my dude was Lucifer, because I remember him like pouring a little droplet of Visine on the ground and feeling like he was Lucifer, and he was trying to kill the plants and fucking creatures. I was really going crazy. I felt like he was an alien, and I don't know what the fuck was going on. We went to his apartment, basically, not his apartment, but like a shared apartment with a whole bunch of other crazy people, like 4 or 5 different, maybe 6 other crazy people. And it was a building for people who couldn't find their own place because of whatever mental illnesses they had or whatever the fuck they were going through. So there, I was basically like confessing all my sins to him, like he was a fucking alien. And it was weird as shit, weirdest experience. I remember when we left, we were walking through a bridge, and I was taking everything, like, I was way overanalyzing everything. Like, people way overanalyze normally, but like, when schizophrenics analyze, they way overanalyze. So I was reading every single message, every single graffiti that was on the ground and within the bridge, um, like something bad was gonna happen. Like, oh shit, we're gonna fucking get killed. Like, if we keep on walking, if we keep on going this way, oh my god. So all of that was fucking really. It's all hilarious to me now that I think about it, because nothing was even happening then until I got home, and his his brother, basically, he has a brother, a direct brother. My stepbrother has a direct brother, so I have 2 stepbrothers, and that stepbrother was living at home. So he was living at home. He was sleeping on a couch, and that's why he was able to open the door when me and my dude came back from hanging out with his brother, his direct brother. So I'm not sure if we went to the room. I'm not sure if we went directly into the kitchen. But I remember that when we were in the kitchen, my dude was making like 2 sandwiches, one for me and one for him. And I looked behind me, because I feel like there's always someone watching. Like, maybe there's someone like waiting for us to finish the kitchen or something. So I turned around, and my eyes dart. I mean, my eyes just go like from there straight down to the ground, because I know it's my shadow. My shadow was not my own shadow. It was a fucking alien shadow. My alien shadow. It was headed to my feet. It was digital. It took over my shadow. My hair was loose that day, so I know I should have some fuzz or something. But it was a very smooth outline of a fucking alien, and I recreated it also in Clay Creations. It was a totally black alien figure that I created, that I said I have to solidify. That black alien creature was basically what I saw connected to my feet, as a shadow. It followed my movements for 6 seconds, for all the seconds that I watched it. 6 seconds after I was staring at it, and I wanted to prove something by staring at it. I wanted to prove that I wasn't afraid and I could see past differences, but I was afraid and I couldn't see past differences. And told me, a telepathic voice told me, not nice, is it? With an attitude. And I was confused for a second. I almost looked at my dude like, was that you? I thought he was, I don't know, I was trying to make sense of everything. But I couldn't because, like, that's not his voice. He's not doing that. So I kept on looking, and, um, was on the ground. While I was staring at the ground, for 6 more seconds, I stopped, like, I stopped looking at it, and I looked forward, and after that, I felt so petrified that I couldn't even use the bathroom for myself. I had to ask him to come to me to use the bathroom, and he was so fucking infuriated. I was afraid that he was gonna fucking kill me or something, because I felt like maybe he was reptilian, maybe some weird alien type of thing took over his body and it wasn't him anymore. I was so scared shitless. And wow, this is long, and I'm trying to talk so fast to like get everything out as fast as possible, so it doesn't have to be a fucking long video as fuck. After I saw a shadow that told me, telepathic voice, not nice is it? Me and my dude were having an argument that lasted basically all night till morning, till like 6 in the morning, where I was like, I want to go to the ER. I want to send myself to the psych unit because I'm fucking crazy. I just saw an alien, and he was fighting me, saying, no, if you go, they're not gonna take you seriously. They're just gonna fuck with you. You're gonna be another lab rat, and you're just gonna get tested on. You can be fucked with, and you're gonna regret it. Like a dumbass, I didn't listen to him, and I just went outside. I was like, okay, either I go to the ER and admit myself, or I just get tops. I call them tops. I know they're called top, but there's like this pouch, yellow pouch of tobacco, basically and they have like they have paper so you could make rolly cigarettes. So I was either gonna go. I was like, all right, let me just go and get like fresh new tops or something, because I felt like there was like weed that we smoked, and I felt like maybe it was, well, I smoked weed basically, and I felt like it was laced. So I was like, maybe we just need fresh new bags so I can calm the fuck down and just let it pass. As I was walking in the correct direction to get the cigarettes, there were people that started walking towards me. And I was like trying to like go through them, but it's like they didn't really allow me to go through them. So I guess I told myself I guess it's a sign from God to walk this way, walk to the ER. So I started walking towards the ER now. I'm going to the hospital. These people kept on, they're walking behind me, and they started circling me. They started to walk, circling me, sort of like around me. Like kind of like some of them started walking forward, and they started like basically surrounding me. And I remember this one Asian lady, like I was looking at them, it's like weird. This one Asian lady, she looked back at me and she gave me these eyes, like no type of emotion eyes, like you're dead anyway, so who cares? And I swore that they were gonna throw me in some van or something. I got scared, they were getting way too close, and I was like, they're gonna fucking kill me because I saw an alien in my mom's kitchen. I don't know what to do. So I jolted out of that fucking weird circle that they put me in. They were fucking triangulating my ass. And I ran forward to a lady that was guarding a door or something beside hospital, and she noticed I was petrified, and I was saying emergency room over and over again. She was like, "What? What's going on? Slow down! Like, tell me what's happening." Or I don't know what she said, but she was like worried about me, and she saw that I was scared. And she finally noticed that there were people looking at us, and people were following me. People were following me, and like hunting me down. And she noticed it, and she gave them a look, like, "What the fuck are you looking at?" type of look. And it was like, I remember it was a Jewish guy, like a weird old Jewish guy, kind of receding. And it's like woman's like blonde hair or something. I forgot if she was Jewish or what, but I know the guy was Jewish. And when they saw her, they looked forward and they kind of split up and went their own way. And that was weird shit. And I noticed that, and she noticed that, and we both noticed like what the fuck is going on. So she kind of protected me. She's like, "Come here, go inside come inside this building for a second." And I'm like, "Can you take me to the emergency room?" Like, she's like, "Yeah, I will. Just stay here for a second." She kept me in there for about 10-15 minutes. Within those 10-15 minutes, I heard Probably after like 5 or 10 minutes, I heard a gunshot, and I swore that it was from my apartment, my mom's home. And I swear someone went to the apartment and shot someone to keep me quiet or to scare me or to give me a message that I'm next or something. Within the hospital, I felt so crazy. I saw a man in a suit that I swear was my dude, and I felt the worst. I thought that he was one that got shot, and now he's coming here like a soul and talking to a staff member. I thought there's like a black girl that looked like my stepbrother, the weird alien one that I looked through the people and saw him like basically three of him. She looked like him, but thinner, and she looked like she had like a freaking. She looked like him, but with a wig. The wig was like thick, crazy looking braids, and she was crazy. And I literally felt like everything was being set up around me, and it was the craziest feeling ever. When I went to the hospital, I was admitted, and I remember sharing a room with this girl. She was black, and she maybe it was the same girl. I don't know, but she kind of like at night she kind of crawled to me like weird. And everything was dark, so it looked like she was a fucking alien. And I went like this. I took off the blanket from my head, and she went back to her bed and went back into the fucking covers. And I wonder if I scared her. I don't know. But I thought she was gonna kill me. I thought she was fucking alien gonna kill me. Um, in in the hospital room, there was a shower that we were both sharing. I broke the knob by accident. Um, and I told staff members. The staff member told me to go to a different room. The room was number 5. I remember 5 because I remember um connecting it to numerology, basically 5 being human experience. So I went to the room thinking about that, having it in my mind. And I remember there was a lady there, she was like with a radio in front of her listening to it. And there was a lady further from her near the window. Check if she was like really disabled or something. She had something probably holding her leg or I don't know what, but she was very disabled. Um, so I went into the shower. The shower was like longer, meant for disabled people. However, the curtain was thin, meant for a normal shower curtain that you would see like just a square type of shower. And okay, so basically when I'm over here taking a shower, put stuff over there on the chair, I noticed there was a disabled chair inside of the shower itself. Um, with this tiny little curtain, you can imagine how the water went everywhere on the ground. Yes, it did. Um, I have this thing about not wanting to close my eyes when I take a shower because I feel like there's something scary. It's gonna be right in front of me, and I always freak out, so I tend to keep my eyes open. So I was rinsing the fucking shampoo from my head. A thin, very thin, powder blue finger, like slashed the fucking curtain right in front of my face. I gasped and finally closed my eyes to rinse out the fucking rest of the soap from my hair. And I dry my hair really fast because I want to get the fuck out of the bathroom now because fucking aliens in here with me and now I don't see it, but it was just a second ago and I'm fucking out. While I'm drying my hair and I'm looking in the mirror, I see myself like my head is about the size of this headset. About the size of this fucking headset, more or less. Maybe, yeah, something like that. And I go, whoa, like this. Touch my head. And then I look to this metal thing, this metal thing over the toilet that's like meant to hold recycled brown papers to like dry your hands or whatever. I look at it. It's also casting a reflection, and it casts the exact same reflection that the mirror is reflecting, which is I look like a fucking alien. And now I want to barricade myself in this bathroom. So from a point of fear, feeling like I want to haul ass out of the fucking shower butt naked, to a point of fear where I want to barricade myself in the bathroom and never get out. Type of fear. 2 types of fear, 2 experiences in that one bathroom, in that one room. There were also other experiences where I remember had a very strange experience where I was laying down and I was looking out the window because I saw like it looked like someone was hiding behind a plant or something that was out the window. And first time I recorded making this video, I forgot to mention it, so now I'm going to mention it, and it's a good thing. It reminds me of the alien in Signs, but scarier? I don't know. Fucking weird and fucking ridiculous and very cliche and sad that it's cliche to the point that it's actually, you know, in a fucking movie. It's sad. But I remember like doing this, and it's like it looked like it was following my movements for a little while, and I was doing this and it was following and this, and I started thinking it was my reflection. When I started thinking it was my reflection, it started moving away from my position, and I got scared. I put my head over, I put the covers over my fucking head, and I was scared. I don't think I saw it anymore though. When I looked again, I didn't see it anymore, and I was wondering where it went. And I don't know if it was the same night, but I remember also I was laying down, and it's almost like I was like, you know, these aliens, they they're not gonna stop, right? So I'm just gonna like this. What do you need? Like what? I don't know, right? So I lay down and I was like, guess they're gonna heal me or whatever they feel like they need to do. So I saw a little tiny blue light, and I think it was probably from a light bulb that was outside the window or something that was casting a glow onto the wall, most likely. But the weird thing about this experience was I remember an arm coming up, sorry, a white hair coming out from my arm, my right arm, and from my wrist or something. And I remember me seeing it and me grabbing it and pulling it out and putting it onto the side of the bed beside me. Just putting it like on the ground and feeling like more energized or something and weird, like I was taken care of. I don't know what the fuck happened. But I think I remember as I wanted to, I don't know if I tried to look on the ground to see if I could find it, but I might have thought about it. I know I wouldn't have found it because I felt like it was mental. White, straight, long out of my arm, and me just dropping on the ground like it meant nothing, and nothing just happened to me. So I remember after that, I probably got up and started walking around. I remember another experience where basically, a staff member ran and told the psychiatrist that was dealing with me what I said. What I said was, "Great, now I'm seeing ghosts." Like, what I saw was an an elderly-looking Asian man that was wearing hospital pajamas, walked right past the door really fast. Not too fast, but like just fast. It was like a small opening of the door. So he walked and he was like the color gray or something, like colorless. But like he was wearing hospital pajamas. He was really tired and grumpy, and he looked like he was gonna ask for, I don't know, water or meds or something. He looked like he was upset. But he didn't look like he was I didn't see him around. He wasn't a normal person, and he wasn't. That was a fucking spirit. I don't know. I think it was a spirit that I saw, and one of the staff ran and told the doctor, and that's what led me to staying there a little bit longer. After most experiences, um I remember I would not tell anybody, but I would tell people on the phone, and I know that they were listening to phone calls, so it was the dumbest thing to do to talk to people on the phone about it. But I did. I'm pretty sure that those phone calls kept me in longer. Also, I remember experiencing something very strange in this very room. Years ago, I was sitting Princess Stripe Gray Cat in this apartment for his sister, and she she was sitting right beside me, And I noticed something. I forgot how I noticed it, but maybe a thump or something, or I don't know what. But I said, well, if you're gonna be a bitch about it, show yourself. And I basically called it out. Um, and I started petting her, and I noticed the magazines were moving. I looked, and the magazines were being stepped on. You could see energy stepping on the magazines. You couldn't see what it was because yeah, some kind of energy was stepping on magazines, and it was walking. When I noticed it, it stopped walking for a few seconds, like 5 seconds or something, and it started walking again on the magazines, on the rest of the magazines. Guess it went to the chair. It walked to the chair and pressed its ass down onto the green chair that was right in front of me. And I remember saving a picture. Saving a picture. I looked up a picture on Google like of the chair, and I found it and I saved it somewhere. And I forgot where I saved it, along with a bunch of pictures of things like the AT&T green black phone that I remember was disconnected. That I heard the sounds of hell, voices of hell or something, and then the Dear God No More Machines, which was a personal prayer that I made in bathroom. Um it After it pressed its ass onto the chair, you could hear nostril breathing, very hard nostril breathing. Just over and over again, just constant nostril breathing. I got scared after like what 3 or 4 seconds, and I got up and left the room. I felt so bad afterwards. I left a little kitten in the room with a fucking demon, and I didn't know what to do. Also in 2012, I remember seeing what I would describe to be modern day Lucifer, Devil Dude. I don't know. I recreated him in The Sims 3 years ago, and also in Click Creations. I believe it was my last Click Creations. I believe that he had horns. I keep on envisioning horns, so I feel like he had horns. I think if I remember horns, he must have had them. I definitely remember pointy ears, red flesh, just completely red, bald, black eyes, black shiny eyes. Same. I mean, his eyes were as black and shiny as his shoes were, and he was dressed like he just walked out of a funeral, and he walked right past us in broad daylight in 2012, in December 2012. He was beside me. Tank was beside me. He was walking Tank, and he looked down at Tank for a second. He must have been looking at his leash, I don't know what, but just the perfect time that he looked down, he missed the devil that just walked right past us. And I was staring forward like, what's wrong with him? Why does he look so upset? What's going on? And also I fucking, is that the devil? His frown was basically, I mean, I don't know if he had eyebrows, like, he might have had a beard, a pointy brown beard. I'm not sure, but I definitely remember his face and more or less how he looked. When he walked past us, the wall blocked him. The wall of the building blocked him. I ran forward, and he was not around. He completely vanished. He disappeared, and he wasn't around. Where he was walking was a man that lived in the building with white shirt, white and blue plaid shorts, and white sneakers. Totally not what the devil was wearing then, but he took his place in where he was walking, where he was positioned and walking. And I looked around again, and I was like, where the fuck is this devil? What happened? And I looked back again and turned into this dude that this family allowed to live in this place for a very short time because he had nowhere to go. It goes deep. Before that, I remember then that must have been I saw a light being's arm before that, and that got me to look at archangels. Your daily archangel or something. So I saw this light being's arm twice. Also in 2012, before I saw the devil, and I almost forgot about that. And first, I was sitting all the way in that room, far over there, and I was sitting on the bed, and I was sitting in a position that I was looking out into the hallway. When I was looking out into the hallway, I swear that I saw the mannequin's arm, but it wasn't the mannequin's arm, it was a light being's arm, and it had some weird sleeves, and it, it was like some weird, like spiky sleeves, like this, but his hand looked like a normal human's hand, and it it was made of light, white light, but it illuminated a royal blue like color outside of it. And the first movement it made was this, where it just quickly waved once at me. And I remember getting up, getting excited, and like I was entertained by it. So I was like telling anybody who was around that what I saw. Maybe like 2 or 3 weeks later, I saw the same arm in a different position of the apartment, and this time it was coming from the microwave. Now they don't have microwaves because they don't want radiation, they don't want cancer. So then the microwave, its arms took out, even though microwaves don't have arms, and it made a dance move this time. A quick dance move, like literally that. And I got up again, laughed, and got excited, and oh my god, it entertained me again. So at that point, I looked up Archangels, and that's when I found out that my Archangel was Metatron. I was wondering, was that Metatron? I also had experience. Okay, I'm throwing myself around too much. Okay, look. So the Archangels. I found out everybody's Archangel. Basically, I found out the dude that lived here for a very short time, his Archangel of for the day, was Uriel, and I took that shit so seriously that literally I saw a devil. Probably the same day or the next day, or I don't know, I'm not sure when, but also I remember an experience where I heard a phone ringing, and it was disconnected, green black AT&T phone, and it was disconnected, so it shouldn't have been ringing. Why was it ringing? I picked it up and I heard the sound, the voices of hell, or it sounded like there's like a pit on Earth where you could basically listen to sounds that sound like they're people being tortured, screaming sounds of hell. That's what I heard about. It sounded like it was recorded or something. I don't know. So I picked it up 3 or 4 times. Something like, and I kept on hearing it, like that noise. And I would hang up. The last phone call was a playful, high pitched female voice going, "Hello," like something like that. I can't do it, but I was like, "Hello, who is this?" And then all of a sudden, a male whisper, "Machines," and that phone hung up on me. The fucked up shit is that that was a very personal prayer that I prayed to God when I was in the bathroom, and that all of a sudden the phone is saying that to me and hung up on me this time. That was a fucked situation. That day, I was walking in and out of the house, I felt like there were clones of people that were pretending to be people that I knew. It's fucked up shit, and the whole day was fucked. And that phone call was the phone calls were not helping. So the devil dude, right? This dude that lived in the apartment. Basically, I think it was probably the same day or something later on that night, maybe. We went outside to get like these little cigars that are in the form of cigarettes, basically grape flavor or something, and probably some beers for them hanging out near the park. And I remember we were walking to the park. I was staring at the back of his head like, why are his ears getting pointy? I started freaking out, like pointing at him like, devil, stop. While we were at the store, of course, or whatever, we this lady started talking to us, or something. Started talking to the dude that was living here for a short time, and she was talking about some weird stuff like watch out for watch your cat. Something after she talked about Bruce at the time. I was like staring at her. I noticed that she was growing, and she was like growing in height and shortening as well. And there's a flesh box that was protruding from her forehead that was kind of red. And I noticed I kept on staring at her. And I felt like when she said watch your cat, I felt like she was talking about me because I was seeing a lot of shit then. And Sh- I don't remember exactly what she was saying also besides that, but I remember these two sentences that she said. That sentence and also "You're my favorite devil" to the dude that I saw as the potential devil. Okay, here's the thing. Why I really saw him as a devil. When I was looking around after the devil disappeared, throwing myself around so much. Holy shit. While I was looking around for the devil after he disappeared, and that dude with the white shirt and the white and blue plaid shorts and the black white sneakers or whatever, where he was standing, instead was now the dude that was living here for a very short time, and he was wearing black now, all black, but he wasn't dressed like formal, like he just came from a funeral in his black tuxedo, all black tuxedo. He was wearing some kind of weird, raggedy ass beanie with some baggy black clothes, but he was totally in black like the devil himself was. And he walked into the building, the first door, got in. The second door, he put the key in, and he turned around to look at me, and I was staring at him. I was like, how did he know that I was looking at him? And he turned around back to the door that he was unlocking, shook his head, and went into the building. And maybe like a block or two later, I tell him about it, because it's like, what the fuck just happened? And I believe that the same day that happened with lady that was talking, saying, "You're my favorite devil." And I remember that during that conversation with that lady, a UFO or some type of weird spaceship, big ass fucking spaceship, took over the entire block, over our heads, and moved the trees, moved the wind. And I was looking around like, did anybody else see that? What the fuck? Except for me, I was the only one. And that's what I heard her say, "You're my favorite devil," to him. That's like, the spaceship looked like it came from something like Star Trek or something. Like, I don't know, maybe Star Trek or something. It was like that. It was like that. It's like big metal fucking things, like fucking right over our heads, and no one else noticed. But it was like, it wasn't that late at night. It was like, was it still like kind of, the sun was the sun kind of out? I don't even. I remember the fucking, what the fuck. Okay. Also, I remember the same dude that lived here for a very short time. He was in front of a computer, and he was doing his little computer shit. And we were hovering over his head, and I noticed his head was, well, I was hovering over his head, and maybe two people were watching me who's doing on the computer. Maybe another person was hovering over his head as well, looking over his doing his computer. I was looking at his fucking skull, his head, his like bald head, because like shaved his head because he received or whatever, so his head is shaved. So you could see his skull, his scalp, not skull, his scalp. Then I noticed that his head was green, like reptile green, and bubbles or balls were moving around in his head like he was a thinking reptilian. And I guess he noticed me. He felt me looking at him again, and he looked up at me like, "What are you looking at?" And he put his cap on, and he kept on looking at the computer. What the fuck? Fun, fun, fun. I remember probably a few years later, maybe like 5 years later or something, maybe 7 years later, I saw, probably 5 years later, probably seven, it must have been 2017 or 2016 or some shit, but I saw a black ball, it looked like a black hole in the sky over a schoolyard, and the kids were coming out, and I was like, "Hey, do you see that? Look, look, it's a freaking there's a black hole in the sky. Do you see it?" They were trying to look up in the sky, and I don't think anybody else saw it except for me. I was wearing glasses, and I could see detail, and they were just leaving the school and going home, and it just went slowly over, just hovering perfectly horizontal over, fucking perfectly parallel over the schoolyard. And it's not a small schoolyard, so it just went over and gone. And it looked like a gray day, but it was like probably maybe 4 or 5 before the sky was starting to get dark. or maybe the sky just started to get dark or something. No, it seemed like it was rainy day. It was probably like 3 something, so it was early afternoon, and it was probably just raining, about to rain, or just rained or some shit. Anyway, also I remember this very strange experience where I was watching a movie called Pixels. I don't know if you guys watched this movie called Pixels with Adam Sandler, some kid, and this blonde girl, this blonde woman. She was their faces were all distorting. They were starting to look like, reptilians on TV or something, where their skins were breaking down or their clothes were breaking down. She got scared. She like panicked or something. She covered her face and she ran to the bathroom on stage. And Adam Sandler and this kid were just sitting on these like these chairs, separate chairs, like one sitter um couches type things, and talking about, I don't know why she's looking out, like she's just come out, big dealers or whatever. They were just like talking like normal, and within the video I heard an old male weird voice, like sounded like satanic type of weird circus freaky voice. A man saying, "Demon, enter this child now." I was like, what? I looked at the movie. I didn't say anything verbally. I was just like confused as fuck and what in my mind. And I felt the tingling sensation all over my body. It was getting stronger from the head, from head to toe. It was getting stronger. And the moment that I felt that, I screamed with my mic, "Jesus Christ!" Not too loud, but like I wanted to scare that feeling away from me. And once I said that, once I just said Jesus Christ, the feeling flew off of me like it didn't even, like it wasn't even there to begin with. That was a very interesting experience that I almost forgot to share with all of you. Pixels. I don't know. After that, I believe that maybe potentially my life experience I've ever had so far, hardcore experience, was the alien light being with wavy arms, wavy legs, no hands, no feet, that I saw right here besides the very strange experience as well. For some reason, I can't remember if the van was red or blue. That very minute detail doesn't really matter as much as the experience itself. And also, considering Mandela effect, any little thing could switch. I mean, even little detail like the color of a car can change. So, who might say what color your car was? The van was there. Lady pulled up in the van, and I think it was a person sitting beside her. It must have been her husband. She was like a thicker lady, long hair, probably maybe dark brown, maybe like brown or dark red or something. And she was just like, her hands was, I don't know if there were like two other people behind her. There might have been, but I was focused on her mostly. Her hands were on the wheel, and I was like, why is this lady just like her hands, like why is she just like frozen there with her hands on the wheel? What's she gonna do? I was very captivated by it. She was staring out of her fucking, like a robot, like a dummy in a car, holding on to the wheel for, I don't know, probably half a minute or something. She finally put her hands to the fucking car door, and I'm like, wow, this is like thrilling. What's gonna happen next? Holy shit! Like, what the fuck is she doing? She was acting weird, and I was freaking out. I was like, why is she weird? She's weird. And she finally, after like 10-15 seconds, she opened the door, and I was like, I should have had popcorn or something. Like, this is really like intense. What's going on with her? Um, I knew something was really fucking weird. Something weird was happening. So when she moved out from the car, it's like the van itself was a cloaking device. When she moved away from the car, she transformed automatically, like basically moving away from the car. She was still a human. She was becoming this light being. She was basically, the car was hiding her. It was a fucking light being the whole time. What the fuck? It was now this. It was alien shaped head, but I can see eyes, I can see nose, I can see mouth. Its arms and legs were wavy, like watery, like spiritual type, completely from another dimension type of wavy, or from another realm type of wavy. I don't know how to else to explain it, but beyond spiritual, I don't know. It was a light show for me. Um, it was night, so you can imagine it was a light show for me. It was illuminating a turquoise light, and it it started approaching the big gates that are like right beside, right in front of the lot. And basically, you open those doors, you can let the car into the lot. This thing was walking towards it, and I knew that it was going to probably try to like communicate with me or contact me or something. It was gonna walk up to me, as I felt like, and the he was doing the garbage on the side. I remember he was doing the garbage on the side. That's also why I wasn't that scared, because I wasn't really alone. There was someone sort of beside me, but I was so afraid this thing was gonna walk up to me, and I the moment I felt fear, it stopped mid tracks and mid track, whatever. Like it just stood there and was just wavy as fuck, just standing there, as wavy as fuck, and staring at me or something. I think it was staring at me, and it raised one arm, and it looked like it was waving at me. It might have just done this, but literally, since it was like ever flowing, constant movement, it looked like it was waving at me. So I remember picking up one arm to way back in the fucking like being alien, weird, random, freaking being. I don't know what it is. Some type of sentient being. I have no idea. Maybe it's in my head. But I literally, that moment that I raised my hand to wave at a fucking light being, back at it, I remember thinking, how many people are looking out this building right now? Looking down, thinking, holy fuck, this girl is fucking crazy, and she's waving at nothing. Then I remember it put its arm back down slowly and went back to the car. She turned back into a woman as as she like touched the car, and as the car hit her, she turned back into a woman. Closing device would do, and she put her hands back on the wheel and she drove backwards out of the lot area. And I got excited. I got up and told him about it, and he was like, "Don't let it get to you, or don't let it get the best of you, or something. Or don't freak out, or something." I was just happy because that was a cool experience. Also, I remember praying to God that I want, please give me some type of benevolent contact with an extraterrestrial or multidimensional being, and I think that was it. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, literally, just because no one else can see what you see, just like John Edward Mack said, like, what do people know about hallucinations anyway? Basically, what do we know? Just because one person sees something doesn't mean that it's not actually there. It could just be that this being cho- chose that one specific person to be able to see them, no one else. So, yeah, schizo like a boss, I guess. Yeah. I also want to show you guys with blue tape, because I'm not trying to dox myself. I will show you guys my diagnosis papers. I have two different diagnosis papers. What? What's the problem? Two different diagnoses, schizo, of schizo, basically. and he has a problem with it already. I just saw him. But I'm trying to show a lot of new people I just got here, and also people that lack trust. I don't blame you. Um, that I didn't call myself schizo boss for for just any fucking reason. For just fucking no reason. It's for reasons. That's it. This shouldn't be a long video. And thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And have a very nice day. Toodles.